forgot to give you your fishing rod buck.
In this episode of the New Brunswick Adventures, Robyn and I are visiting communities along the province's two most popular bays, the Bay of Fundy and the Bay of Chaleur. At St. John, we take a jet boat ride and slam head-on into the raging waters where the St. John River and the Bay of Fundy collide. After that, we're heading north to the Bay of Chaleur to check out high-flying kite surfing on the island of Lamech. And we visit our hometown of Bathurst for some kayaking and mackerel fishing.
New Brunswick is one of Canada's most enriched natural wonders. It has ocean playgrounds, rolling mountains, endless fields, and the highest tides in the world. The best way to see it all is by driving the 5 scenic routes. We're heading to St. John, and the most picturesque route to take is the Fundy Coastal Drive. St. John is New Brunswick's largest and oldest city. It is situated along the north shore of the Bay of Fundy at the mouth of the St. John River. Throughout history, its location has made it an ideal place to inhabit. From the Passamaquoddy and Maliseet people to French explorers and Loyalist refugees, St. John's history is as old as North America's.
St. John owes its existence to the fact that the St. John River runs into the Bay of Fundy, and the natives were the first to discover this and set up camps at the very mouth of the river. 1604, Champlain came into the harbor, then unnamed, and it was on St. John the Baptist Day, June the 24th, so he gave the river the name St. John, which later was transferred to the town.
The St. John River runs 450 miles through the province of New Brunswick and empties into the Bay of Fundy at this rocky gorge in the center of the city of St. John. This is the Reversing Falls. What you are seeing are rapids being formed by these two forces, the river and bay colliding, creating the highest tides in the world. Robyn and I want to get a bit closer look. And the best way to see the Reversing Falls up close is by jet boat.
This is adventure. Crazy.
You all set, Robyn?
I'm kind of scared.
I've been on this before. Anything that can get wet will get wet. And it's scary. I thought skydiving was bad. Reversing Falls is actually where the highest tides in the world from the Bay of Fundy reach the St. John River, and they collide, and every 6 hours or so, the flow of the tide from the Bay of Fundy actually reverses the flow of the river by several kilometers. It's now low tide right now, so what's happening is the St. John River is now dumping in and is creating this phenomena where there's massive rapids. Now in a few hours, the flow of the Bay of Fundy, or the tides, completely change the flow of this. It'll be nice and calm.
Just like I am, nice and calm.
There's one crew down here. They're all still alive. Everyone's safe. Looks like they had fun. They're definitely not dry.
Not a big fan of water, but I think I'm gonna be okay. Everybody looks like they made it back all right, so I think I'll be fine. I hope not. I'll try not to cry.
Ready? Yep.
Okay.
Here we go.
Yeah.
The Reversing Falls jet boat ride is considered a must-do when you're in St. John. It's pretty nuts how powerful this jet boat really is. The ride is approximately 20 minutes in length, and they'll supply you with life jacket and rain gear, but you can be assured that anything that can get wet will get wet. There's also a few restrictions on the ride. Every participant must be a minimum of 42 inches tall, and every participant younger than 12 years old must be accompanied by an adult. If you're afraid of water, and even more if you're afraid of swallowing some salt water, then maybe this ride is not quite for you. But if you want a high adrenaline rush, then the jet boat rides in St. John is one of the best you're going to get anywhere. What a blast, and as you can see, we are sure having a good time. And my hair is getting wet. Woo!
Folks, we are in Miramichi at the Rock and Roll Festival, and we are about to do the twist.
Am I doing this right? Sorry?
Welcome back to the New Brunswick Adventures, Canada's East Coast experience. Our day in St. John is coming to an end. Robyn and I are heading north of the province to our hometown of Bathurst. However, before our Bay of Chaleur adventure begins, we're making a detour to Sussex, New Brunswick, home of one of Canada's most unique festivals, the Atlantic International Balloon Fiesta.
Aeronauts from the United States and Canada bring their hot air balloons to this valley town for the weekend event. As many as 30 balloons fly twice daily, where paying customers can fly over the beautiful Sussex Valley. These balloons are cold inflated with a gasoline-powered fan, which inflates the balloon to its capacity. From there, the crew replaces the cold air with hot air in order to take flight.
What we do is we take propane, just as you use in your grill at home, and replace our cold air with hot air, which is burned. It becomes gas through a series of pipes in the burner, goes from a liquid to a gas, and then is burned, and the balloon, getting a different pressure, a rising higher pressure, will lift the balloon up.
As many as 30,000 visitors take in the Atlantic International Balloon Fiesta. And as impressive as these colorful balloons are in the sky, they're even more impressive on the ground at night. When the sun sets over Sussex, the launch field is lit with a series of propane blasts as the balloons turn into giant light bulbs.
And since we're talking about festivals, we have to make a detour before we get to Bathurst and check out the City of Festivals, Miramichi City. Miramichi is most famous for being one of the world's greatest salmon fishing destinations. And throughout the year, the city hosts close to 20 festivals. The most popular is the Rock and Roll Festival.
Folks, we are in Miramichi at the Rock and Roll Festival, and we are about to do the twist.
Am I doing this right? Sorry?
The Miramichi Rock and Roll Festival is considered the very best festival in Atlantic Canada. It started 16 years ago with a modest car show and has expanded to one of New Brunswick's most successful events. In early July, thousands attend the Rock and Roll Festival to take in classic car shows, listen to old-time 1950s rock, and of course, dance in the streets.
And that's it, 5 minutes of twisting in the Miramichi at the Rock and Roll Festival. Woo.
Oh, I feel like I'm having a heart attack. Haven't done the twist in years.
Miramichi's most spirited festival is the annual Irish Festival, held in the former town of Chatham. The Irish Festival celebrates this area's strong Irish roots with music, dancing, and the occasional brewski. And like many Irish tales, their history on the Miramichi is imbued with adversity.
Middle Island is really a very sacred place for the Irish.
This small but significant island, located on the Miramichi River, is Middle Island. Between the years of 1845 and 1850, it was a quarantine station for Irish immigrants fleeing the famine. Hundreds of thousands came to Canada, and hundreds died before the boats even made it to shore. The victims suffered from typhus, and their boat, the Lushstock, traveled up the Miramichi looking for a place to dock.
When it left Ireland, it had 456 people on board. 146 died on the way over, and the sick were brought onto this island. By the time the situation was settled, there was, at least 200 famine victims buried on this island.
Before the Irish settled here and before the Scottish first laid claim to this area, the native Mi'kmaq inhabited this land.
Welcome to Miramichi Heritage Park, Upchiliasi.
The Metapanaghiog Heritage Park rests on the shores of the little southwest Miramichi River. The Metapanaghiog means high banks in Mi'kmaq, and this area is the oldest community in New Brunswick, dating back more than 3,000 years. The park is home to two national historic sites, the Augustine Mound and the Oxbow. These are two of the most outstanding Aboriginal heritage archaeological sites in Canada. Visitors to the park will have an in-depth education on the uniqueness of Metapanaghiog and the Mi'kmaq people.
You've got 2 on this tie, Robyn.
Yeah, it's out.
Oh, you got 3 on.
Welcome back to the New Brunswick Adventures, Canada's East Coast experience. We are visiting along the Bay of Chaleur. The Bay of Chaleur separates Quebec's Gaspé Peninsula and northern New Brunswick. It is the largest bay in the Gulf of St. Lawrence and has the honor of being voted as one of UNESCO's most beautiful bays in the world. Its name translates to Bay of Warmth in English and is said to have been named by French explorer Jacques Cartier in 1534. The Bay of Chaleur stretches 120 kilometers along the northeastern shore of New Brunswick and most of the south shore of the Gaspé. The bay is divided into 2 basins, the outer or eastern basin and the western basin. At its entrance to the east lies Miscou Island. Miscou is a small and unique island. It's 64 square kilometers, and in the fall, these peat bogs turn into a vibrant red canvas.
Connected by a bridge with Miscou is the island of Lamec. Both here and at Miscou, windy gusts and the warm salt water of the Bay of Chaleur make this area ideal for many water sports enthusiasts. And the constant breeze blowing off the Bay of Chaleur makes this area an ideal spot for kite surfing. Call it kiteboarding, call it kite surfing. Either way, this surface water sport uses the wind to drop some pretty mean height and speed. The wind pulls the rider through the water on a small surfboard. These riders on Lamec Island like to use the wind to catapult themselves into the air for an adrenaline rush. Kite surfing is a hugely popular sport on such a small island like Lamec, and these adrenaline seekers travel from around the world to test the waters of the Bay of Chaleur. Some riders have mastered the sport. Others, well, not so much. But if you want to learn how to do this sport without taking a faceplant in the water like that other guy, then the best place to visit is Club Wind and Kite in nearby Shippegan. And these guys will offer lessons on a variety of water sports, including power kiting, windsurfing, wakeboarding, and of course, kiteboarding.
Kiteboarding is all about the freedom of being with the element, the wind, the water. It's almost being towed by a boat, but without any engine or any noise, nothing.
What makes the Bay of Chaleur so unique is the variety of landscape which highlights the stunning body of water. Every mile of coastline seems to offer a uniquely different vista. At Miscou and Lamec, the beaches are sandy and flat, Further south, near the town of Kerkett and the village of Grand Anse, rocky cliffs collide with the slamming waves of the bay.
At the western end of the bay, the Restigouche River enters, producing an estuary 130 kilometers long. In this area of New Brunswick, near the city of Campbellton and the town of Dalhousie, the Appalachian mountain range takes form. Here, the stunning views of the bay and rivers, with rising mountains in the distance, create a view in New Brunswick like nowhere else in the province.
In the middle of all this natural wonder lies the city of Bathurst, my hometown. Here, the mountains diminish, the cliffs wane, but the bay remains. This area is home to sandy beaches, breathtaking sunsets, and great fishing.
G'day folks, we're here in the Bathurst Harbour in the Bay of Chaleur and right along the Acadian Coastal Drive, and we're doing a little bit of mackerel fishing here, Glen and I.
So what we got here, Robyn, is we've got, well, it's affectionately known, I call it the Sachan. It's the big dog in English. It's a big mackerel setup. And this is one of the major attractions here in Bathurst. You come here in August and you can catch mackerel wide open. So I'm going to give, Robyn, you've done this before. We're both proud Bathurst people, so.
Watch and learn.
Yeah, so basically here you just flip that, and by the time you start reeling this in, I can guarantee you're going to catch fish. We're not going to stop. There's no trickery here. This is the big stuff here.
All right, flick it.
You're ready to go. Just drop her down, yep. Now we got 5 hooks on there. Oh, actually, just let her go down a little bit more. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Okay, so what we're fishing for is Atlantic mackerel. So if you want to visit Bathurst, folks, you can visit their website. Bathurst has got a website, www.bathurst.ca, or you can visit the tourismnewbrunswick.ca website, and perfect links. There you go. Okay, got one. Just take your time. You might grab a couple more on the way up. You've got 2 on this time, Robyn.
Yeah, and it's
Oh, you got 3 on. Look at that. You ever caught 3 fish at a time? Probably, eh? You do this.
I do this quite often.
You're no pro there.
Like 8 at one time.
Wait. 8 at one time you caught?
Yeah.
Really? Oh, you lost one there, but we saw that. So, let's catch and release. That's good. Okay,
part of the
so I'm
plan.
just going to try not to get one of these wiggling fish hooks on my hand. So again, we're in Bathurst, New Brunswick, along the Acadian coastline, which follows all up that area, Kerkett, up to Lamech, Shippegan. It's a beautiful place. If you really want to see it in its prime, anywhere from June through August. Mackerel fishing is best in August. Had a great time, Robyn? Let's go check out some more of the Acadian coastline.
Sounds good to me. I've been known to get pretty wild in a kayak.
Well, I've heard you're out of control sometimes, and I just need you to contain your excitement this evening and not freak out too much.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try.
Welcome back to the New Brunswick Adventures. Robyn and I have been traveling the eastern shore of New Brunswick, taking an adventure along the Bay of Fundy and the Bay of Chaleur. Our travels have brought us to our hometown of Bathurst, where the river and ocean connect in the heart of the city. And if you like to kayak, Bathurst is the place to be.
Robyn and I are at Bathurst, New Brunswick, our hometown, the northeastern part of the province. Robyn, this is your first time kayaking in Bathurst. You grew up here, lived here all your life.
Yes, I have.
We are on Middle River. This is right downtown. You know, there's 5 rivers that run into the Bathurst Harbour.
Yes.
Bathurst Harbour dumps into the Bay of Chaleur.
Right.
Bay of Chaleur is some of the warmest waters north of North Carolina.
That's right.
In the summertime.
Yes.
So we've got kayaks here. They're fishing kayaks, but they're really safe. The tide is high. We get high tides here in Bathurst, so I think I'm going to get you set up with the kayaks.
You know, there's a saying we have in Bathurst. There's no shore like the North Shore, that's for sure. Bathurst is a beautiful small community filled with great people, lots of diverse culture, and tons of things to do in all seasons. We have 2 of the finest golf courses in the Maritimes located right in Bathurst, including Galway Golf and Country Club, which is considered the Pebble Beach of the Maritimes, and Squire Green Golf and Country Club. We are completely surrounded by amazing natural resources. We have so many rivers and lakes, and also saltwater beaches. And in the summertime, tourists from around the globe travel to visit the miles and miles of beaches located on the Bay of Chaleur. There is wildlife throughout the city. Daly Point Reserve offers several kilometers of walking trails where the visitor can witness many different types of wildlife. The city itself is located right on the bay, and in the summer, there is no better place to spend your time than right downtown Bathurst. Not only is there great kayaking within the city, but in all seasons we have some great attractions. Northern Odyssey, White Gold, some of the best snowmobiling trails on the planet. We have cross-country skiing, there's salmon fishing on the Nipisiguit River, mountain bike trails, and a wealth of other opportunities for the visitor. My time is summertime, and I'm sure if you asked anyone from Bathurst what they thought of this place, well, most definitely they would tell you that there's nothing like home, and there's no better quality of life than you'll find right here in Bathurst. There is just so much to do and see in New Brunswick, and it is very accessible by sea, air, and by car. You can enter from the north via Quebec or the southeast through the United States. That's another episode of the New Brunswick Adventures. We really hope you can visit the bays in our great province. On behalf of my co-host, Robyn Audet, and myself, Glen Ferguson, we hope that you can visit our hometown of Bathurst, New Brunswick. Come on up, because there's no shore like the North Shore, that's for sure. Take care, and thanks for watching.